Let's see if we're going live on YouTube. Let's see what's happening. All right. All right, and we're live on YouTube. Thank you. Greetings to everybody. Let me go ahead and share my screen. What's this thing on? Share the screen. God bless everybody. Welcome in. Let me give you time to get here. Let me go ahead and check online because that's what I do. Let me see. Here we go. Let me say hello in the chat. First of all, let me move this on. Let me say hello in the chat so we can get started. I hope everybody's well. All my people who are online that I know, if I've been sending you something today, I've been laughing for the last 2 hours. So I hope all is well with you. God bless everybody. Happy Monday. Um, I kid you not, I've been cracking up all day. I'm gonna give y'all some time to get in here and then we'll get started. And yes, we're early. Why? That's what we do. I'm gonna give you all your day back so we can go ahead and, get some other things going. Hope everybody woke up and prayed today. We're back on a financial tip today, talking about DeFi, funding, credit, an overview today, because over the next 6 sessions, we will be talking about and breaking things down. Okay, so I'm gonna give y'all time to get here. Make sure everybody's in, and then we're gonna go ahead and go. All right. This is for the future of finance. That's what this presentation will be about, the future of finance. Okay. We got somebody in here. Okay. Where's Zoom? So we don't have no problems. All right. Yep. Okay. All right. Well, let's rock and roll. Let's get into it. I have to make sure that I'm on the right time, but I'm on time. Let's go. Let's go ahead and say our prayer, and then we'll get started. Father, we thank you for wisdom, understanding, and clarity. Guide us as we learn how to manage money wisely, both for our personal lives and in business. Help us to see new opportunities, avoid traps, and use finance to build up communities and generations. It is so. In Jesus' name, amen. Oh, I see you now. Yeah, we're just praying over the finances. We're gonna keep pushing. I know it's kind of early, and some people said they had something else to do right now. They'll come back and watch it later. So glory be to God for all of you. Thank you very much for your time. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. All right, I see my mom on here. Let's go. So what are we talking about today? I'm glad you asked. The future of finances. Life is changing as we know it. All right. So I want to make sure that you all know it. So when it comes down to financing, cryptocurrency, DeFi, a lot of different things we're going to talk about today. I want you all to understand that. All right, so let's get into it. No matter what anybody tells you, you should already know it, right? Money makes the world go round. Money is one of the currencies that are used. But beyond money matters today, how finance is changing with AI and fintech and yourself. I want you to know spiritually of different laws and things that you should know. But beyond that, another currency on earth is time. So if you're not managing your time and you don't know how to use your time, you're not using it wisely, all right? What you don't use, you lose. And another currency is wisdom. If you don't have the knowledge to know how to apply something, when to apply something, the difference of applying, whether it's finances, time, stewardship, discipleship, relationships, if you don't understand that, money is not going to help you anyway. All right, so we're going to talk about from savings and credit to business funding and the industries of tomorrow. So Like I was saying, the next 6 sessions, we're going to be talking about different aspects of finance. So keep that in mind, okay? Anyway, let's push. Why does money knowledge matter? Well, yeah, it matters because money isn't just about spending. That's why so many people lack the resource and don't know how to use money as a tool because it's not just about spending. You don't know how to accumulate. You don't know how the currency is supposed to flow. You don't know how to save. Spending is never been a problem for most people. Actually, that is the problem. They're spending too much and they can't afford it. So you have to think about that. Money is supposed to create freedom and options for you, not debt. But when you mismanage it, that's when debt becomes a problem. So the future of finance is changing fast, right? So in artificial intelligence, aka AI, fintech, financial technology, crypto, and new ways of funding, right? So I'm going to tell you more about different types. Here's a personal example. A teen who understands buying a car at 18 without massive debt. If you find a teenager in today's time from the ages of 16 to 19 who can actually go in with a $5,000 down payment or actually go in and save for a car and just save $10,000 and go buy a car to get back and forth from, you're going to know you have somebody who's going to be good with finances. Somebody who knows how to steward and who understands finance. 9 times out of 10, you don't find that. Everybody knows how to spend money, but financial literacy, they're illiterate when it comes to that. Just like most people can read, but reading comprehension is totally different. Just like with reading, you can ask somebody, hey, what did you read about today? They could have just read 37 pages and they can't tell you what 2 pages of it was about. They can't summarize it to you. Comprehension. So the same thing with finances. If you don't have financial literacy, no matter what, you're illiterate. I'm glad that you know how to add and multiply. If you don't know how to save and how money works and how it's a tool, you're going to be on the other opposite end of the stick and it's not going to be good. A business example, a bakery that understands funding grows into a franchise. What you know will allow you to go to higher levels. What you don't know will hold you back. So lack of knowledge, that's a sin in itself. You should be reading every day. You should be researching every day. Okay? Social media is going to be there. Are your finances in order? Is your house in order? Is your relationship with God in order? Whatever you have going on, it's an order to everything. If not, it's disorder. So it's up to you how far you get to go. So what most people don't know is that over 60% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. And in 2025, I would say 90% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. So even people who earn 6 figures, they don't because they don't manage their money right either. So a lot of people think, oh, when I make more money, life would be better. Well, no, because if you don't know how to manage your money, it wouldn't matter if you had 8 figures. If you have 6 figures and you know what I'm saying, and you're in debt and you can't figure that out, mismanagement is happening somewhere, or you're living above your means, all the and above. All right, so that's something for you all to just think about as I go along. Let me check uh YouTube to make sure everything good. We're good. Now, personal finances. Let's get to the basics of this. Today's just the overview. The next 6 sessions, we will break down each one of these. Okay. Personal finance basics. We've talked about that since the inception of Eternal Financial Journey. Okay, but today we're going to just reiterate again budgeting. If you don't have a budget, you're already failing. You should have a budget. You should know where your money's going. It should be marked. You know what I'm saying? Whether that's tithing, Thanksgiving, your bills, savings, investments, you need to have a budget. All right. So when you budget, budgeting is basically telling your money where to go, not wondering where it went. So when you know where your money goes, you know how much you have coming in, how much you have going out. You know what I'm saying? Like what you have left. If you don't have a budget, you're not accountable. That's what that's telling me. Okay. A personal example would be Jay sets aside $50 a month for savings. After 2 years, he has $1,200 plus interest. That's great. It's hard for a lot of people personally or in business to hold money. I don't know why. Um, when you build good money habits early, this only helps you later on. When you know how to hold money, right, or invest money into CDs, into crypto, into real estate, into agriculture, when your money's just not sitting there, you learn to have a flow. And that's what makes more sense. So think of it that way. When you build good money habits early, you don't struggle and have financial issues later. Um, that more people have to do that. So Jay budgets money wisely and avoids debt. Debt is what makes you all a slave. If you don't want to be a slave, and the reason I say a slave to money is because when you owe banks, when you owe loans, or you owe somebody else, they have something over you. And now you're worried about, oh, I have to pay this back, or even if you don't pay it, oh, this person's looking for me, or this person is looking at me this way and that way. Be the lender and not the borrower, right? We can go scriptural on that. It's just the point of it doesn't matter how much scripture, you can recite it every day. If you're not going to do it, it's not going to make a difference. But those who are in debt, you're in bondage. There's no freedom in that because you can't do what you want to with your money because you have to pay back loans and different things. Because if you don't, then they're coming to look for you and you're going to lose the little that you have. Financial freedom is the way to be, not that chewing. So, I just want to say that. So a hidden fact is even $25 a month saved in a Roth IRA as a teenager could help your children grow to hundreds of thousands by retirement because you have to park the money somewhere and let it grow. Interest bearing accounts. You should be able to do that. Most people won't do it because if they know they have money there, they're going to touch it. You know what I'm saying? So that's something to think about. When you're dealing with money or investing or real estate, you're playing a long game. You have to sit it there, leave it there, let it grow, not touch it. You know what I'm saying? Like, get yourself together now. Business finance basics. Let's talk about this. Businesses need money for startup, for growth, and for survival. Like I said, money is the currency, one of the, currencies on earth. So is time, so is faith, and so is your knowledge. All right. So that's why I always tell people you only are applying one type of knowledge or one type of currency to your finances, to fiat money. That shouldn't happen. If you don't have the knowledge of how it works, you're being played. You're not playing the game. So if you know that you're a business or even in personal life, you need funding, right? Whether that's a loan for a house, a loan for a business, a loan for a car. Another thing I want people to conceptualize is that you don't have to have a loan for a car, right? Sometimes if you have the money in the bank to pay for it, that's better than taking a loan. Use your credit when needed. You have to think smart, okay? So, you also need to have good records, good accountability. Good records build good trust. Good records is your record for you in court if anything should ever happen. That's your receipt of what's happening. It's in black and white, whether that's in a contract, whether that's in inventory, whether that's you doing business with someone else. You don't have a receipt, it didn't happen. So protect yourself. Always keep good records for growth. Okay. So a business example is a t-shirt shop starts with $500. They track every sale, then use that record to get a $5,000 loan. So in the case, because my mom's online, I'll just say with scarves and hats, right? So if you sell a set and you start off with $500 for your sets and you track every sale that you sell to someone, PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, whomever you're using, right? Or if you're in QuickBooks, that goes to show that you have money coming in and out and that you're having sales. So then you can use that to get a $5,000 loan because you have record of transactions. All right. So what most people don't know is that many small businesses fail not because of bad products, not because of quality, but because of poor management skills. How you going to get money if you don't know how to keep it and what it's useful for? That's the question that I always ask people. Oh, if I had $1,000, you're not doing what you need to do with $100. So why would $1,000 need to come flowing your way? And also, a lot of businesses fail because they don't separate business versus personal finances. Your business is a different entity than you. So you shouldn't be running all that together. It should be separate. Because if you go to court and do that, then you're going to have real serious problems. All right. In the court of law, they're going to say that you don't have a legitimate business. You're going to be paying all type of fines and fees and maybe facing jail time. I really don't think it's that serious. All right. Now, when it comes down to why bank accounts still matter, I can't stress this enough, right? Whether you want to hear it or not, I'm going to tell you because a lot of people think that they can have Cash App as the bank account. That's not a bank account. I'm getting ready to tell you exactly what they are, right? So you just make sure you're listening. And it's not to be funny, but when you go places and you're like, oh, I can't get funded, you don't have a legitimate bank account. And that sends a red flags to me because my first question is, why don't you have a bank account? You must have did something to where you can't have a bank account. There's too many banks on every corner. They're coming up with one every day, and you can't get into one of them, even online. That sounds crazy. All right, so you need a real bank account to build trust. I didn't ask you about Cash App, which is the app, a third party app at that, right? That you could do peer to peer. Okay, it's different. I'm not telling you that you shouldn't have it, but you should have your own personal bank account tied to it. All right, so another question that I received, and actually I just learned this about Chime because I had never heard of it. So I was asked, is Chime a bank? No. Chime is a neobank. And I'm going to tell you what a neobank is. A neobank is a fintech company that partners with banks. Neobank. So does it work like a bank? Yes. Is it a bank? No. That's why it's called a neobank because it deals with fintech, right? So it's a fintech company that partners with banks. It's not a traditional bank, but it still offers FDIC insurance through its partners. So it's like you going to Expedia to book a ticket instead of going to the website. No matter what, you can book through Expedia. It's still going to go through that hotel chain or back to the website. And then when you get there, they're going to charge you more fees on top of it. So think of it the same way. Now, can you use it? Yes, it's newer. It's a neobank. Maybe in 10 years, they'll be up and coming, and that's what they're doing. You do run the risk of sometimes when dealing with neobanks and certain things, you're not able to go and use the money as you would like. By that, I mean, just like with Cash App cards, a lot of people use those. Sometimes you can go out to eat and they don't accept it because it's a Cash App card. It's not an actual bank. It's not an actual credit card. Can you use them in some places? Yes. Maybe they may put a hold on it, but you may run into some places who won't accept it, right? Just like some people don't accept Discover. Hit or miss. I'm going to tell you, since I've been in the South, I've been hearing about Cash App. That's when I got a Cash App when I got here. I don't use Cash App anywhere else. I use, you know what I'm saying, especially for invoices and things like that, PayPal, um, Venmo, Wise, certain things like that, just to transfer money at that time. But here, it's good for peer to peer. Like when, I'm getting my hair done or something like that, or some people say, oh, we accept Cash App, something like that. That's fine as an intermediary, meaning it's connected to my bank account and I can put money on, in and out with no problem. Totally up to you. So with Chime, that's great. If you use it, it's a neobank. So that's on the newer part of the technology there, and it's under fintech. Okay. Cash App is not a bank, period. All right. Cash App is a payment service. It's not a bank. It can store money, but it doesn't replace a full bank account. So I said it's an app. So if you need to send someone money that way, it's a third party app. It's the app is you and whoever you sending money to, and you can work it that way. Um, a personal example is Sarah needs direct deposit, which requires a bank account. Chime is a neobank, so they may allow you to put a certain amount of money in there. Once you go to a certain threshold, they're going to tell you to go to an actual bank. All right. With Cash App, I've had this happen many times with people, and they say, "Oh, they shut down my account. Oh, they took my money." They will hit you with some money laundering in a minute if they can't understand what's going on. So it's better to have a professional account with it if you have to do it, a business account, okay? But a business example would be a bakery with a business checking account can show proof of income for a loan. Exactly what I mean. Now, when it comes down to Cash App, could you do some of that? Possibly, but it's not going to help you. Money coming in and out, it doesn't keep an account balance for you to use that way. Have a legitimate bank account. Okay. Bank of America, Wells Fargo, Navy Federal, USAA, Smart Bank, Truist, PNC, US Bank, the names that you've heard of before. That's what you do. You get an actual bank account. And there's nothing wrong with a fintech bank account or a Chime if you're using it, but you still need an actual bank account. Try not to use third parties because, hey, sometimes it's helpful. Most of the time it's not. Fintechs have the power to turn off your stuff, block it, and lock your money. This is why you need to be paying attention to what I'm saying because this can help you. All right, so now let's keep going. Now, what we've been talking about, inventory and management with fintech. All right, AI, artificial intelligence, AI and fintech can track inventory automatically. This is great because who wants to sit around and track some inventory all day? I know that's right. Smarter solutions. You know what I'm saying? Work with AI. That part can help. So, um, AI and fintech can track your sales, your inventory, your spending. It links with other apps and things like that so that you're able to easily track it using multiple systems. Um, here's a personal example. A sneaker reseller uses an app to track how many pairs he has left. So if you're out here selling sneakers and you need an app, you can easily look online and get you an app that will help you track, what you've sold and how much you have left. Um, a business example would be a coffee shop's Square system updates inventory every time a latte is sold. So let's just use Ron's barbecue. If he bought 18 slabs of rib, every time he sells a rib plate or a rib platter or something, he knows it'll keep going down. Maybe once he gets to 5 slabs of ribs, then guess what? It'll pop up and let him know, hey, you're running low. You only have 5 left, something in red that'll flag him so he would know. All right. What most people don't know is that many small businesses lose money from over ordering or not tracking sales. This only hurts you because at this point you're wasting money. And then you're going to have more excess inventory. So why do you want to do that to yourself? Okay. And when you don't track your sales, you stop yourself financially from getting other types of funding. So you only hurt yourself. When you know better, you do better. That much I can say. All right. AI is a great tool to help you reduce waste. And now, if you don't want to do it, good. Let AI do it. That's what it's here for. All right. So that can only help you. Let's keep pushing. Let's talk about fraud detection and fraud protection. Okay. So AI detects suspicious activity better than humans, right? Because a lot of humans, especially when it comes to finances and things like that, they don't pay attention when it comes down to finances. Oh, they swindled my money. Somebody took my money. Somebody always doing something. You should know by now you can't trust nothing to nobody because it's always when there's a will, there's a way. If you're not paying attention and somebody's smarter than you, when it comes down to your finances and you just leave it all willy-nilly, they're coming to get it with no ifs, ands, and buts about it. All right. So AI is able to detect unusual or fake transactions way faster than a human can. And sometimes that's good, and a lot of times that could be bad. So that's something you need to know. Banks and apps freeze suspicious charges. They can. I've been somewhere before. If you didn't tell the bank you was going out of town, and I'm always in the air somewhere, just like the air, I'm everywhere. But every time I go somewhere, all right, you were in Tennessee this morning. Nan said you in Vegas spending $700. They gonna call. They gonna lock a card down, something. Yes, me. I went to Louis Vuitton before, and my husband was in there buying stuff. He had to call and verify that it was him, give all kind of information. It was a whole 10-minute phone call because they want to know who's spending this kind of money and is it really you? So that's a good thing because there's so much fraud going on in the world. People will steal your stuff. I was all the way in Japan and somebody in Memphis was trying to charge $1,200 at the Hilton. First of all, I'm not at the Hilton. Second of all, I don't know who this is. Take it off. So it can help you and at times it can hurt you. It just depends on the situation that you'll have to verify. So be ready for that. All right. So let me give you a scenario, a personal one. Your debit card is used in New York, but you're in Tennessee. AI will freeze that account. If you didn't say you were going on a trip and they don't know what's happening, somebody gonna have to call. You're gonna have to get on this app and verify some stuff because they need to know it's you. So just be smart when, what I'm saying, traveling different places. A business example would be a restaurant owner gets an alert that a fake $1,000 charge tried to run through their Square terminal, a fake, and they gonna know it. A lot of times accounts get hacked, you don't know it. So 2 or 3 days later, or you look up and you don't have no money. AI gonna know. They gonna know right when they, what? Oh no, they gonna get it up out of there quick. All right, so something that most people don't know. Let me help you out with this. Um, Identity theft costs Americans billions of dollars every year. All right, they tired of losing billions of dollars and they tired of having all this stuff come through. Your banks are using AI. Your companies are using AI. That's why most of them are telling you to come back into work in the physical because they want to know AI not doing your work and you actually doing it. All right. But when it comes down to finances, I'm going to break this down on the next live. Yes, AI is being used and they know it. Okay. So identity theft costs Americans billions of dollars every year, and young people are often victims because they don't monitor their accounts. Young people don't really check their credit like that, and they don't care. Okay, they outside with the wind blowing in their hair, or playing games, or somewhere in their girlfriend and boyfriend face. I don't know. Whatever's happening, they're not looking at their credit like that. Even young children, if you're building your children's credit, check their credit. Somebody out here might be living a high life off of it, and we can't have it. So there's something to think about. So always monitor your accounts. Some people, oh, I don't feel like it. That's too much work. I don't care what you feel like. You better get over here and get it done before it be a problem now. All right. Now let's move on to credit scores and AI fintech, right? So AI lenders check credit and sales and spending patterns. I don't know if you all know it, but life is full of patterns. So a lot of people say, well, I don't have a pattern. Yes, you do. And they can find the anomaly quick. You do have a pattern and they're going to see it. They know that you go, uh, what I'm saying? A Pizza Hut on every Friday. They see that. Okay. They see that you going to get your eyebrows done at the eyebrow bar every Wednesday or every 2 weeks or once a month or whatever it is. They see that. They know it's you because this is a pattern and this is how you do it. This is how you sign. This is usually how much you spend. They can get the information. Trust me, they know it. And this is usually the time you go, oh, they tracking everything. They tracking some stuff that you ain't never even thought about. All right. Now, AI looks at more than just credit scores, right? So money that's being deposited, your sales, what you're actually selling, your spending habits. If you usually spend $500 at Walmart, like clockwork, they know it. Okay. So if all of a sudden you ain't spending $500 at Walmart and then you went and spent 2,000 at Aldi, something's wrong because that's not usually what you do. Okay, let's ring-a-ling-a-ling. Let's make sure ain't nothing going on. Okay, that's what I'm saying. So A personal example is Alex with a 650 credit score still gets a $500 loan because his AI app sees steady income. So if he used this personally and wanted to use fintech personally, and he has a 650 credit score, he can get a $500 loan because they see steady income or deposits or something like that coming in personally. All right, let's go business. A business example. A coffee shop gets 20K from a fintech lender based on strong daily sales. Again, let's go with Ron's Barbecue and More because he's dealing with food. If you're selling a variety of plates and this, that, and the other, and 30, 50, 70, 100 plates or something a day, a week, whatever it is, and you're not tracking it or you don't have everything synced up, you're only hurting yourself because this shows that you have the money coming in. This is going to help you get funding and increase. This can help you open up a um what is it? A restaurant. This can help you open up a food truck. This can help you in certain ways. So, you only do yourself a disservice when you're not tracking or you don't have inventory, proof of sales, profit and loss statements, things like this that QuickBooks would actually do for you. So help yourself. That's all I'm telling you. If you don't, hey, it's okay. All right. So what most people don't know is that your rent, your utilities, and your phone bills, subscriptions, marketing, investing, lawyer fees, all that is starting to count towards credit scores. That's what most people don't know, especially with different cards that you can pay rent and utilities with as ACH. Yes, this helps you. A lot of subscriptions you have, business phone numbers and things like that, they're starting to count towards credit scores. Build it up. You're paying it anyway. Don't sit here. I mean, definitely pay your bills, but have it to where it counts, you know? So now I'm going to give some fintech examples. The first one I'm going to use is Square. I just wanted to make sure I didn't have no questions on YouTube. All right. So um, Square helps businesses accept payments, track sales, and even get loans. And this is very true. So when I said PayPal and Venmo and things like that, you can actually get loans through them. That's right, you can. So a person example is a teen who uses Square at a pop-up shop to sell shirts. I don't care if you're selling candy. You know what I mean? You can be selling frozens in that bad boy if you feel like it. If you have a Square, which is a little square, you know what? I'll show pictures on it on Wednesday to help you out. I have one. So, and you're selling shirts, it's gonna give a receipt, is connected to QuickBooks or just the Square, and it's gonna give you the information and the reports you need to show what, how many shirts you sold, the inventory. You can take any type of credit card. Sometimes some of them take crypto now. That's right. So this helps you track sales, customers, and inventory. If they want to put in their email, things like that, do so. Okay. A business example is, I'm gonna give you start to finish of a business example, would be a food truck signs up for Square. All right. Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles is now a food truck. So they sign up for Square. Every sale is recorded, every transaction. Every time somebody taps a card, inserts a card, whatever they're gonna do. Google Pay, Apple Pay it wouldn't matter. It's gonna record the transaction. After 6 months, Square, because they're a fintech, they can see it too. Square sees $50,000 in sales. All right. Square offers you a $15,000 loan for expansion. You can get it right then and there because they can see that you have money coming out. I mean, that you have money coming in, and payments are automatically deducted from sales until the loan is paid off. This is much better than going through the bank, doing all this paperwork, all this riffraff, social security numbers and credit checks and everything else. They're looking just based upon your sales, all right, and what you're doing. And it doesn't always take 6 months. If you're moving like that and you're getting that type of money, it could be in 2 months, 3 months. They see it. They know that you have a legitimate business, that you're using them. Square will give you a loan and automatically take out the payment. So beautiful transition. I just wanted you to see that example. That's how all fintechs work. They will do that. PayPal will do that. Okay. Now let's talk about crowdfunding. how you can raise is really raising money from people, right? So crowdfunding is raising money from many people instead of one bank. You don't want to go to the bank, you can start some crowdfunding. This can be good, this can be bad. It's up to the person. Why would it be bad? Because when you're dealing with too many people, they wishy-washy, it could go good or bad. That's all I'm saying. All right. And I've seen beautiful stories of it, of people getting a in Georgia, like 90 people got together, I'm saying, and bought 600-700 acres and they're out there building on it. Beautiful. Okay. I've also seen it where 10 people tried to do it and two of them got mad and wanted to sue it. It just turned into a circus. It depends on how you set it up with the proper foundation. God bless. Okay. So, um, some platforms that you can crowdfund on are Kickstarter. Everybody here has probably heard of GoFundMe. I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it. And then we have Patreon. It's a million of them, right? But most people hear about GoFundMe, and when they think about GoFundMe, they're thinking about giving money to somebody from something bad happening. But I also hear about them saying, "Oh, they didn't want to give it to this person for such and such reasons, and some stipulations on some money somebody wanted to give me, and you don't want to give it to me." You say what now? So there's just something to think about. Okay. Um, a personal example would be a student post an invention idea on Kickstarter, right? Maybe they got robots to cut grass. I don't know. And they raised $5,000 to get it started. Happens all the time. Genius ideas, something beautiful like that. A business example would be a local coffee shop uses GoFundMe to raise 20K from the community after a fire. Beautiful evolution, right? We've seen people try to raise all this money on TikTok and everywhere else. They seen a homeless man and she was calling him uncle and she was trying to, get the money to him. She was paying for his room and paying for him his medicine and stuff. Went fine, and all of a sudden, no, they play games with people, especially of the darker descent. That's all I'm gonna tell you. So certain ones are good. You may have a good experience, you may have a bit bad experience. Be ready for either one. All right. So what most people don't know, here's a fun fact for you. Okay. Crowdfunding is not just for charities. It could be personal, it could be business, or both. It's a powerful tool for business when used correctly, right? With legality, you want to make sure that that's correct. All right. Now, let's talk about who the leaders are in fintech. And don't worry, we almost done. We got like 3 slides. Keep pushing. Leaders in fintech. So Square, remember, some people say Block, but Square is business payments plus loans. You can get all that in one area. That's fintech. PayPal and Venmo, right? You can pay bills that way, receive invoices, split payments, all that kind of stuff. That's fintech. So a lot of people, when I say fintech, they're like, I've never heard of it. You've been using it for a while. Maybe you just didn't know the name. Okay. Robinhood, um, Binance, Coinbase, all these places that you can invest online in. Coinbase is for cryptocurrency. Robinhood, you can invest in anything you want. And then the new one for me this year was Chime because I had never heard of it. And it's still new, it's still small. It's mobile banking, but not a bank itself, right? So it's kind of similar to Cash App, but you can have money deposited there and stuff like that. They are backed by other banks. So they're just a third party online. So that's fine. If you want to use them, great. Still keep another bank account. All right. It's new and it's upcoming. And so all those are fintech. So you learn something today. All right. What most people don't know is that many banks people are using today are not traditional banks, which is what I just showed you. They are technology companies. Well, technology is taking over. So even if you're not into technology, if you've ever used PayPal and Venmo and have an account set up, Cash App, Chime, Square, fintech, okay? So AI and fintech across industries. Let's go ahead and break this down. All right, education. Students use budgeting apps to manage scholarships. That's fintech. Okay. Um, agriculture. Farmers use or get microloans via fintech, paid back after the harvest. So maybe they want to use Square. Maybe they want to use crowdfunding or something like that. This happens all the time. All right. Where they can get loans for seeds or mobile payments from other people that they want to come in and crowdfund. Happens all the time. I do it in Africa. I'll be showing you that in these next couple of weeks. All right. Finance. AI speeds up loan approvals because they're doing it based off of what they can see. They're based off your patterns, off your data, and what you have coming in and out. They can see it. They can predict it. That's what's happening, right? So with finance, crypto, faster loans, the compliance is already there. They just need to see the transactions. If they have access to that, they can determine the information they need. You're not waiting 2, 3 weeks, 2 or 3 days, or 2 or 3 hours. They're going to tell you within 30 to 45 seconds whether you're approved or not. That's how fast it's going to go. All right. So a personal example would be a student crowdfunds tuition online. Maybe they're trying to pay for their tuition. Maybe somebody's parents or somebody or something like that passed away. Maybe something tragic happened and a GoFundMe or something like that is happening. Cool. They can pay for their education that way. A business example would be a farmer in Ghana gets $200 for a microloan via mobile app to buy fertilizer. What you don't have, you can soon have at your fingertips. Why? The power of AI, the presence of the internet and technology. It can help you in more than one way. Okay? So don't say, I didn't tell you, because now you know. Now, we're 2 slides away from the recap. Stick with me. Compliance and why it matters. Compliance always matters. If you don't want to go to jail, you need to be compliant. If you want to get ahead, you need to be compliant. Okay? If you're going to deal with changes and evolution of life and in your business, you must be compliant. That's it and that's all. All right? So compliance is following the law to build trust. If you don't know how to follow the law, you are a criminal. Simple as that. That's the way they're going to treat you. Okay? A personal example. You need ID and proof of income to open accounts. You should. You might be saying you Betty Sue. Well, how do I know that? What kind of license and social do you have? Is everything matching up? People do fraudulent stuff all the time. They're going in there using different numbers. They're not using their EIN for their VIN numbers and stuff like that. They're using fraudulent numbers and dead people's social security numbers and all kind of other stuff. You're not supposed to be doing that. And as you see, these banks are starting to understand. Everybody you see online, run the play, don't run the play. Run away from the play. It's illegal. Don't do that. Don't do it. If you got a forged number, fudge numbers, make up something, it's not for you to be doing. It's not for you. All right. But a business example is a tech startup gets denied investments because it didn't file taxes properly. If your paperwork is not together, you're not going to be getting any type of money. And why should you? Your paperwork's not together. It's really not that hard to be compliant. You write it down, you pay it. QuickBooks or whoever can spend these reports. Life should be easy for you. Don't be cheap, and don't cheat yourself. That's what's going to help you. All right. Fun fact, something else most people don't know. Let me help you out. Without compliance, even the best businesses or the best business ideas will not get funding because they're going to know that you don't have compliance. You're not paying attention. Your paperwork is bad. You have no administrative skills, and the lack of caring is there because if you did, it would be together. You won't receive any funding. Okay? So startups without compliance ended up being denied funding. All right? You need to be in compliance for loans, grants, and investors. If not, if your paperwork's not together, loans, grants, or investors will not work with you. Okay? So think of that. All right. The future of finance. You better get into it. The future is here. The future is now. Right? A lot of people, oh, this stuff is not going to happen. Y'all seen AI robot. Y'all see what's going on. Y'all seen the Jetsons. We live in real life now. All right. The future equals digital wallets. That's already happening with Chime and Cash App and crypto and Apple Pay and Google Pay and all kind of pay. But it's happening. AI financial advisors and global payments. That's the future. You're not going to have a bank for everything now. Crypto can take care of all that 2 seconds. You don't have to wait 7 days to go to the bank and deal with them no more for that part. You can use crypto. We're going to talk about it more this week. So that's for more global standards, right? And global payments. Um, you're going to have AI advisors on the phone now, and they're going to know. So all this run and play, you're not smarter than a computer. Okay. Now you're still going to have to deal with people because, things go wrong. The internet go down. Well, AI is going down too. So you're still going to have to know, but you're going to deal more with advisors on the phone, particularly AI. All right. Personal examples. Students may have a AI budgeting coaches on their phone. That's happening now. It's teaching you how to invest. It's helping. That part is good. Um, a business example is a local store in Africa sells directly to customers in the US using fintech apps. You can sell to anybody in the world now. I don't know how long it's gonna take to get over there, a week or two, but hey, you could do it. International standards. That's what I'm telling you, right? So global opportunities for small businesses. Nobody can hold you back now. Digital wallets. This is on your phones. These are on your tablets. This is on your computers. You understand what I'm saying? Um, but your credit and your compliance is going to give you more access to money. All right. Your inventory and your sales is going to get you more access to money. Better wake up and know what it is. What most people don't know, here's the new secret. In the future, even social media activity may affect your ability to borrow money, right? China's already testing this theory right now, right? With social credit. If you're acting crazy, on social media, they don't act crazy in China because they ain't going China. Um, Trump ain't playing, but they president ain't playing either. So they already doing social experiments. This is coming to tell you that they're gonna start watching what you're doing with your money. If they think it's money laundering, they will close you down and shut you down. It's gonna take a minute to get to it. Um, if you're on social media acting a fool, waving guns and this, that, and the other, they will shut you down. If you're in the streets protesting and doing, they're gonna have the ability to shut you down. So all of it is not the best, but I'm telling you all what's here so you can understand. Okay. You want to talking crazy about the president and they have the ability to shut you down. You don't want to play these type of games, when it comes to the government. Not and have one citizenship. That wouldn't be smart. Not and have all your money in American money and you dealing with American banks. That's why you need to invest and build a digital portfolio. We'll talk more about that later. But don't say I didn't tell you. But China is already testing what people doing on social media. So you're talking crazy, waving weapons, or convicted of a convicted felon, you having problem, they can shut you down and they will. And they can track you. Facial recognition is here, biometrics, your finger. Hey, they got it, buddy. Cameras is everywhere. There ain't no more such thing as committing a perfect murder. They can see you from them satellites. You better go ahead and sit down. I'm just telling you. This and they're gonna be able to control your money. Or you think you're fleeing across the country and you're gonna take out the money at the bank? Most places don't use what? Cash anymore. They got something for you. Digital money, they can track you. Trust me. All right, now here's the recap and discussion for today. Thank you for your time and your patience. Um, Bank accounts build trust. If you don't have a bank account, I'm looking at you like you're crazy because what's happening here? Oh no, I just got the money. I don't have a bank account. Oh no. Oh no. I can't take that to the bank and they looking at me like, where does $250,000 come from? Why don't you have a bank account? Why does somebody else have to use their resources for you when you can go make an account? That don't make no sense. I won't do it because they I tell you what, they not come looking for me. The FBI, the IRS, ABC 123, whatever Michael Jackson was talking about, they not coming looking for me. So you just get it together. Okay? So bank accounts builds trust. FinTech improves inventory, fraud protection, and funding. I love that part about it. It's a beautiful transition, right? Crowdfunding and AI expand access to money. That's great. I wouldn't crowdfund with too many people, but that doesn't mean you can't for the right reason. I would say do it. Compliance is critical for growth. If you don't have compliance, you're running all the risks you can have, and eventually it'll come back to bite you. All right. So AI, credit scores, and compliance, that's the future of finance. All right. Square, I love to see it. I love to do it. FinTech is here. It's been here, but now you're understanding more what it is. Okay. So if you were starting a business today, Would you go to a bank, crowdfunding, or AI fintech? And why? This is for you to think about. Okay, and I'm saying right now, I already got the bank, I got that on lock, I can get whatever I need from there. Now I'm with the AI fintech. Crowdfunding, there's nothing wrong with it, but it's nothing I need right now. Okay. So in the next few sessions, we're going to be talking about more about fintech. I'll be showing you more pictures, more scenarios, how it's working. We're going to start talking about crypto, DeFi, all these things you need to know of how you can get funding for you personally and for your business as well. So I want to take this time right now to say thank you to everybody for coming. Let me go to YouTube and see if we got any questions and say thank you. Today was just a high overview so I can explain to you why fintech is used, how it's used, some of the systems that they use, um, what they look for. Now, the next one, we're going to look at the flags, the abuse, the certain things you can do. We're going to talk about the new world order. It's going to be great. So I do want to thank you for your time today. To God be the glory. God is love. God is light. God is everything. So I just want to say thank you for that. I'm just looking to see if anybody have any questions, and we're going to keep going. But I do thank you for your time. God bless you. I'm gonna give you your day back. If you got any questions on YouTube, put it in the chat. I'll come back and get to you. Anybody got anything on Zoom, let me know, and we will work from there. The video will be uploaded shortly. I hope this blessed you, and I hope this helped you. Let's remember to be uh, wise and good stewards of God's resources as He is the source. So to God be the glory. Thank you all. Hope you all have a blessed day. Thanks.